Now let's talk about fake charity scams. How many of you in this room have received some kind of solicitation, mail, telephone call, email, asking for donations? Okay, every one of us, right? And by and large, these are legitimate requests. But there are scammers out there, and I want you guys to be aware and know the warning signs for it. So these scams take advantage of your good nature. They come from charities that either use the name of a legitimate charity or sound like the name of a legitimate charity. They will perpetuate the scam year-round. More common, and we see an uptick in these scams in the event of some kind of disaster or calamity. So right after Superstorm Sandy, we saw a huge rise in these kind of scams. They will often claim to represent medical research or impoverished people or any other kind of thing that tugs at your heartstring. And the worst of all, and this is what I find the most reprehensible, is they will claim that they represent the family of a sick child. And I don't know about you guys, but thank God I never had a sick child in my immediate family, but I have a very good friend who had a daughter who suffered through leukemia. And what these scam artists do is they find out the name of a local kid who's sick, and then they start soliciting for donations on behalf of the family, but guess what? The money never goes to the family, it just goes to the scam artist. So here are the warnings. You've never, ever heard of the charity. That's warning number one. Warning number two, the name sounds like a charity name you heard, but there's something a little bit off about it. So you get a solicitation from the American Cancer Foundation, not the American Cancer Society. You get a solicitation from the American Liver League and not the American Liver Foundation, right? So it's a little bit off. Now, it may be legitimate, but if it's a little bit off, it's worth investigating. The use of aggressive and abusive behavior. So if you get someone trying to get you to donate to them, and they start trying to make you feel selfish or guilty or belittle you in any way over the donation, this is aggressive and abusive behavior, and walk away. They're probably not real. They demand cash. They tell you, my charity doesn't accept checks or credit cards. You have to give me the donation in cash. And you say, gee, I don't have any cash. And they say, that's great. Okay, well, you can write us a check. But instead of making the check out to the American Cancer Society, make it out to Mike O'Hara. And I'll go ahead and I'll take them. I'll make sure the donation gets in for you. You have nothing to worry about, right? And so you want a receipt because your accountant wants you to write it off. And they give you some kind of scribbled receipt. Maybe it doesn't even have the logo on it. Maybe there's no identification on the person soliciting from you. These are all warning signs. So how do you protect yourself? Well, here's what I do. I see we have some law enforcement in the room, and I love you guys. You do a great job. I often get a phone call about once a year from an organization saying that they represent the New Jersey State Police Benevolent Association, and they even know the chief of police name in my town. And I always say, that's great. So here's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to hang up with you. Thanks for the phone call. Thanks for reminding me. And I'm going to call the chief of police in Sparta, and I'm going to make my own arrangements with the chief of police in Sparta to donate to the PAL in Sparta or to whatever other organization in Sparta. So I'm initiating the donation. I'm controlling the transaction. So it may be real, that phone call, but I don't trust it, so I want to make sure that I'm verifying who I'm dealing with, and I want to control the transaction. I want to control it. So you can also check to see if the charity is legitimate, and here's a great way. Charity Navigator, I know he said I have a little thing here. There we go. charitynavigator.org. charitynavigator.org is a not-for-profit website. And if I were to say to you, please donate to my fund, there's a charity that I support in Sparta, New Jersey called Pass It Along. So if somebody from passitalong.org called you and said, donate here, but you've never heard of them, they're a small charity, you can go to charitynavigator.org, you can put in the name of the charity, and it will come up and it will tell you, great, here's the charity's address, here's the charity's phone number, here's the charity's not-for-profit status, and you know it's real and you can make your donation with confidence. If it comes up and says no information found, what are you going to do? You're going to not make a donation to that charity because it's probably a scam. If they approach you in the street and the solicitor has no documentation about the charity. Now, my daughter's boyfriend does this for a living, and he hates when I do this presentation. He's one of these guys, because he's legitimate, and he collects for charities in Boston. He's one of these guys that stops you in the street and asks you for a donation. But when he stops you in the street and asks you for a donation, what I would say is, well, that's great. Sounds like a great charity. Do you have any literature on the charity? Give me the literature. I'm not going to donate to you here. I'm not going to give you any of my information here, but I'm going to go home and I will look at it, and I'll go to charitynavigator.org to check the charity out, and then I'll donate. If they can't give you even a simple brochure about the charity, and if they don't have any ID saying the company they're from collecting, walk away. Do not donate to them because it's a scam. Watch out for charities that want you to pay or donate to them by use of money orders or Western Union, because these are the two #1 ways that scam artists get your money, have it moved out of the country, and it's untraceable. So never ever give with a money order unless you're highly confident, or Western Union, because it's probably a scam. Again, beware of phishing emails. We talked about those earlier because they will use phishing emails where they'll ask you to donate to the charity. You click on the link in the phishing email and they ask you for your credit card number and all this other stuff. And the next thing you know, you've got $10,000 worth of charges that you didn't expect on your credit card number because they're using the personally identifiable information to steal from you.